Liz Truss, the former Prime Minister, wrote a 4,000-word article for the Daily Telegraph, reflecting on her 49-day term as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The Prime Minister that almost blew up the economy has the cheek to come out of her hiding hole, blaming everyone but herself for her near-catastrophic demolition of the British economy. But hey, what do I know? Maybe I am reading this incorrectly. Let's break down and summarize what she said in the Daily Telegraph article. Liz Truss said she recalls watching Boris Johnson resign while she was attending a G20 foreign ministers meeting in Bali and feeling compelled to return to London to run for the leadership. She said she felt that a change in policy direction and mindset was needed to kickstart the country's return to sustainable economic growth. Apparently, her leadership campaign was brutal and she encountered friendly fire, but her message of a return to conservative economics resonated with the members and voters. What she's failed to mention here was that less than 10% of these conservative members represents the total electorate. Anyway, let's continue with the article review. She emphasized that she won the leadership election with a clear mandate and a majority of MP support, entering Downing Street with the economy and energy as her top priorities, and acted with speed, which she knew risked mistakes, but felt was necessary to tackle the country's immediate emergencies and get the economy onto a path to growth, dealing with the issue of rising energy bills as a matter of urgency. Now this is where things start getting interesting. Liz Truss critiques the traditional approach of the Treasury, which she viewed as focused on top-down micromanagement. Instead, Truss said she wanted to promote a plan for growth that focuses on stimulating competition and economic freedom from the ground up through supply-side reforms such as investment zones, infrastructure projects, deregulation of financial services, and the unnecessary legacy EU laws. Liz Truss argued that the most significant cost of the plan for growth was the energy package and the reversal of tax rises, and she said she believes that increasing growth while restraining public spending will eventually lead to a decrease in debt in the medium term. All of this is all well and good when written as a dissertation, but in real life, well as it happened, not so good. She went on to blame everyone for not making her aware about the concerns a financial instrument called LEDI, which posed a risk to the bond markets. Brownie points to her for a start. I mean, as the Prime Minister, I wouldn't expect her to know all the intricacy of the financial market. She then went on to somehow blame the rise in interest rates and the bond-selling program by the Bank of England for the decline in bond prices, which is how the government borrows money and put pension funds under pressure. Again, not her and Kwasi Kwarteng mini-budget, but the Bank of England interest rate hike, which everyone in the world knew was coming, but again, now looks like no one told her about that as well. However, she did admit that her communication could have been better, and that they underestimated the extent to which the market was on edge and fragile. And again, this is the list of the people or organizations she's blamed. The Office of Budget Responsibility, which was created to keep government forecasts honest, international actors' opposition to her plan for growth, whoever those are, President Biden of the US, the media, the IMF, and a concerted effort to limit competition between G7 economies. I mean, it was a pain sometimes to read. I don't know, maybe it was simply because I was expecting too much from her. Honestly, I was expecting something that's more of a reflection on how things went badly and what she could have done differently. Instead, I was met with an article laying the blame on everyone else, with the former Prime Minister's only admission being her poor communication skills. Anyways, I will leave it here. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will also leave a link in the description to her article.